and industry, and she's present here, and I'd like to invite her now to elaborate on the matter of PPEs.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mwangangi, and good afternoon, everyone. The coronavirus has affected the global supply chains for a lot of goods, and chief of those has been medical commodities. So since last week, we have been working very hard to see if we can actually supply this within the country, because it has proved a challenge to trace them and to be able to order them around the world, because the demand from Europe, from the US is very, very large. I'm very excited that as we announced on Sunday, the Kenyan textile industry has risen up to the task and is currently able to produce as many masks as we require. The second thing that the local textile industry is also capable of producing and has proven that it can produce is a personal protective gear that doctors require. With me here, I have some samples which we'd like to show you. We also have some advanced progress in assembly and making of ventilators in Kenya. This morning, all these samples were presented to the National Bureau of Standards for testing and for confirmation of our compliance with Kenyan standards. And starting Monday, we will have the discharge and the receipt of the certification from the Bureau of Standards. So I'd like to encourage all Kenyans. I think we've been all directed to wear masks. And there are masks for medical personnel, and there are general masks that we can wear as we go out, and in order to prevent us from getting any of these infections while we are going around our businesses. So with me, I'd like to just be able to show you some of the masks that have been approved by the Bureau of Standards and by the Ministry of Health for production. This is a 3-ply mask, which can be utilized by the health professionals. But it is also good for you. So when you go out to buy, ensure that you can detect that it has got 3 plies. There's one inner layer, an outer layer. The darker part is the outer layer for gathering dust, but there will be a filter inside it. So that is something that medical personnel can wear, but also all of us can wear. I think these 3 are all alike. There may be just a simple dust mask that can be worn by everybody, including our border riders, just for dust purposes, and it will be made out of woven cloth, but that is not going to protect you against disease. It may protect you against dust and other particles in the air, but it will not protect you against disease because it doesn't have the inner filter. So we encourage Kenyans to acquire this. We have capacity from local industries, at least what I have assurance for the material we currently have in stock among our fabric manufacturers is sufficient to make 60 million masks immediately. And we have instructed them to get in touch with their distribution chains and make this available to even tailors and other people in the villages, so that we can expand our capacity as quickly as possible. So the fabric manufacturers in Kenya, and there are not many, there are about 4 of them, have capacity that has been confirmed and will be distributing it over the next couple of days. And I'm certain by today, we actually have at least 1 million masks available, and I'm certain that they are already in the distribution channels. The other thing that we've been able to confirm that we can make is a personal protective gear that is worn by our doctors. This has been made in Kenya, has been certified by the Ministry of Health and the Bureau of Standards as meeting the appropriate, the necessary parameters and can be, and this is disposable though, so these are disposable ones. And these are available at even cheaper than the imported, at a price that is cheaper than what we import. This is the same. And I mean, I think for those of you who are near it, you can hear the noise it makes, because that is part of its capacity and capability to be able to repel liquids. So that is what the doctors have tested and approved. And I think our pride as Kenyans is that we are replacing global supply chains in making these things for ourselves. It will be very helpful for the local textile industry, that it can keep them employed, but I think it also helps us in enhancing our own sense of dignity as a nation, that we can produce these things for ourselves. Perhaps the next time when we meet, we'll also be able to demonstrate the approved ventilators and other equipments. Our scientists are making advances in also developing the other products that we require for medical use, and I'm certain within the next week or so, there will be some announcements in this regard. Thank you very much.